Kagurabachi for some reason has gotten so much hype behind it even before its first chapter release, with people dubbing it as the Morbius of Shonen due to the sheer amount of memes behind it. Today I'm going to see if not only is the manga any good, but if it's carried by hype and is the manga industry plant that everyone thinks it is. So firstly, the manga itself starts out pretty simple, which I like since it allows you to get into the story pretty easily. This dude Chichiro used to help his dad make blades and is looked at as a legend, until a group of sorcerers one day end up killing him, causing Chichiro to go on a revenge quest with a special blade his father made that allows him to channel spirit energy. Pretty standard stuff. I don't think it's anything too crazy, but I like this since it allows you to just get straight into the story and you can try and get to know the characters immediately. We get introduced to this guy who was close to his dad, who is essentially helping him on his quest, and soon after we are caught up with current times, we get to see him encounter a sorcerer who could be connected to the main group that killed his father. And this leads into him having to save a little girl and giving us what's in store for the action sequences of this manga, basically. We do get a little preview with him just slicing up some normal goons, but we get to see with the power system how the fights are actually going to look. And while I'm on the topic, I would just like to give a quick side note and say that this manga is so goddamn clean when it comes to art. And I can't wait to see more panels with Chichiro's powers giving off a similar aesthetic to that of the Black Flash from Jujutsu Kaisen. And we see Chichiro end up taking on this dude who can utilize explosions and save this girl, which unfortunately is all we got for the story for now. And remember, before any of this was even shown, it was already regarded as peak fiction. Obviously most of it is a joke, but it kind of just made this read for me a little weird because I did not see any level of the hype in the actual story that was given before the first chapter even came out. I feel like this shouldn't take away from the story because it's not bad at all, but it just makes you wonder even more why this manga has so much hype behind it when nothing crazy is even happening. I mean, maybe if the manga was like super bad and it had all that hype, then it would make sense for it to be a meme. But this manga is pretty standard. I don't know why it's getting so much recognition. As for things like the power system, well, I think that has much left to be desired as we are just now getting into what characters can do with spiritual energy. And we haven't even seen what the other blades are capable of, but the idea of it is pretty much like any other shonen power system. I honestly can't say anything negative about the story because there isn't even much to analyze in the first place, but from what we know, I can say that this series is definitely looking promising. However, let's stop hyping up random shit as a meme so it doesn't get crazy expectations set. That way readers aren't disappointed because I can see why people find it to be quote unquote trash. And it's not due to the quality of the manga, but rather due to the sheer amount of hype this manga had already built up for you, whether it was from your friends, TikTok, or YouTube, etc. Let's just let things cook first before we start giving hype, like for example with Sakamoto Days. This manga didn't even get that much recognition until like the chapter 50 mark, and it unironically deserves all the recognition Kagurabachi's getting. But hey, that's just me. Anyway, this manga is pretty alright. You should get started before the chapters really start stacking, or if you're just a person who doesn't read that much or likes to binge read, then wait for the manga to finish, and just know for now it is definitely a manga of all time.